Welcome to the Bear Pit TV, sponsored by Fans Bets. This is my reaction to yesterday's 3-1 defeat to Charlton. Another hugely disappointing day for Stoke City, the squad, the team, the manager, everyone. It was, in my opinion, another poor performance. I was quite shocked to see that after the game I went on the usual places, OK message board, Twitter, rang family and friends to get their thoughts on the performance. And I was a bit shocked to see that a lot of people seemed to think that we were unlucky yesterday when we played well, and I didn't really see that, to be honest with you. I appreciate we hit the bar and post and had a good chance at 1-1, but I really don't think we were consistently on top in that game. If truth be told, I think a draw maybe would have been fair, but ultimately our defence was extremely sloppy when it comes to the Charlton goals, and they put their chances away. We didn't. Starting with the first goal, I had a really tight angle from where I was stood in the stand. From where originally I thought it was a Jack Butland error, and I've watched it back since, and it clearly was. Jack is not having a good start to the season, and it's becoming more and more evident why a Premier League team didn't go for him. It was a very, very simple save to make, that one. It looked like he tried to kind of deflect the shot as opposed to catch it, and I don't have a clue why, and that obviously set the tone for what was to come. I think perhaps the most frustrating thing for me yesterday was that arguably our best three players were Woods, Gregory and Hogan, and every single one of them came off. And I think when that happened, that's when we really lost our shape, and that's when Charlton got the last two goals. The only brief bright spark I can get from that performance is that for the first time in a long, long time I saw two strikers on the pitch who were genuinely hungry and genuinely harassed, chased and worked. And it did make me sit up and kind of ponder what we've been watching for a while. Vokes, Afobe, Berahino. The energy that Hogan and Gregory displayed yesterday was a real breath of fresh air. And don't get me wrong, it was a shocking performance, we lost and all that, but I finally saw a little bit of passion up front, and they did allow for a bit more space to be created for the midfield. I couldn't understand why Gregory came off at all. I thought he was our best player yesterday. On another point, it was good to see Ryan Woods come back. He's been a bit of an enigma since he's been at Stoke. He came with a really good reputation and started fantastically last year under Gary Rowett, and then just disappeared from the squad, both with Rowett and then Jones. But I know he's a decent player, and I think we saw glimpses of that yesterday. He keeps things ticking on, and I was very surprised that he came off. I understand that Duffy, should be introduced, but I just think it should not have been for Woods. It should have been for either Allen or Clucas, who, in my opinion, both had poor performances. They just, in my opinion, they just do not suit the centre of the midfield in the diamond. I just don't think they're defensively minded enough. That's where the gaps continuously happen. And even when we were briefly on top in that second half, 10-15 minute spell, there were still clear gaps down our flanks. And that, you only have to point the finger at the diamond. I said I was willing to give the Diamonds another go to see if it kind of worked, but it clearly hasn't. I do think we need to really consider this formation going forward and change it drastically, because it's been 2 games in, we've conceded 5 goals. It really has been the worst possible start, and the atmosphere in the stand was not great. The fans are not happy. We have to change things quickly. But with games coming up against Derby, Leeds and Brentford, it really, really does look very difficult on paper. And if we're not careful, it might be a long time before we get this first win of the season. Things need to change drastically, or I fear the tide will quickly turn on Jones. So to conclude, some small, tiny positives, notably in the striker department. Other than that, shocker.